Hi, Mrs. Geeson here. We are doing Wit and Wisdom Module 3, and we are on Lesson 19 today. And remember, the whole topic for Module 3 is America, then and now. And so that medium question that we just started looking at for this part of the unit is, how have transportation and communication changed in America? So yesterday you did a notice and wonder about the transportation book and the communication book. And so today our goal is to tell what is happening in transportation then and now. So you should have this book with you from our curriculum bag. And if you have it, go ahead and take it out and you can follow along with this book. If you don't have it with you, that's fine, because I also have the pages on this Google slideshow. So our goal today is we are going to tell what is happening in transportation then and now. So today we're going to be looking at the main topic. So what is this book about? And then some of the key details. And we've been working on this now for several different lessons. So who can think or tell me what the main topic is? You can share it with someone at your house, or you can just say it out loud. The main topic is what the whole book is about, or what the whole paragraph is about. So that's the main topic. And the key details are the little pieces that go in and tell you more information about that big main topic. So you have the big main topic over the whole book or unit, and then the little key details that support it. So today we are going to look for the main topic in our book and then the key details. So the first thing we need to do is we need to read our book. So the book is titled Transportation Then and Now, and the author is Robin Nelson. And so the illustrator is not listed. Do you remember what the illustrator does? The illustrator draws the pictures. So the author writes the words on the paper, the illustrator draws the pictures, but in this book, since it's an informational text, we will be using photographs in the book. All right, transportation carries people from one place to another. Transportation has changed over time. Long ago, wagons moved people across the country. Now trucks move people and things from city to city. Long ago, streetcars took people through the city. Now subways take people under the city. Long ago, ships took people to find new lands. Now bigger ships carry people to places they know. Long ago, trains moved along the tracks. Now trains race even faster across the land. Long ago, the first car was built. Now cars come in many colors and sizes. Long ago, airplanes began to fly in the sky. Now airplanes fly very high and far. Long ago, people only dreamed of outer space. Now spaceships take us there. All right, now if you're looking through your book, you have this transportation timeline. And a timeline kind of shows you the events that occur from a long time ago or in the past until now or more current. So way back at the beginning, if you look at this, the steamboat was invented. And that was the first boat that was able to travel either on rivers or in lakes. And it would move down and move goods from place to place. And then do you remember in the little house, she was talking about seeing streetcars being developed. And the first streetcar was in New York, and it was first pulled by horses. Then over here in 1841, families began to travel in covered wagons. So what you would have is a big platform, and then you would have arches of wood and put cloth over it, and you'd put everything that could fit in there, and then you would get in the wagon or you would walk next to it. And that's how people got around. There were no cars. Some people would ride horses, but most of the people moved from place to place in their covered wagon. Then in 1869, so about 25 years later, the first coast-to-coast railroad was completed. 1908, the first car was introduced. So it's kind of like the pictures in the little house. It showed you first people were walking, and then they were riding horses, and then they were on bikes, and then the streetcars came about. So this timeline kind of tells the whole story of transportation. And in 1969, people landed on the moon in a spacecraft. So these are some of the things on the bottom that are happening more currently or now. And these are the things that happened a long time ago. So you can kind of look through that timeline, either read it yourself or have someone read it to you. All right, so now you're familiar with this type of a chart. This is our evidence organizer. And so our first job is to find out the main topic. And then we're going to plug in the key details that we found from reading our transportation book. So I have the main topic here, and I heard it in the story. Transportation in America has changed over time. So that's what our book is about. The whole book is showing how transportation in America has changed. So then we have the two columns for our key details. We have the yellow long ago column, and then we have the now, the blue column. So we'll be looking at two pieces of key details, and then we just mark one as yellow and one as blue to help keep us organized. So I have come up with some things or some key details that I read in the book. So let's look at them together. Long ago, people traveled in wagons. And then let's compare it to now. Now, goods and people move with trucks. You can get things from one place to another a whole lot faster. Let's look at long ago. Oh, long ago, people traveled in streetcars. So the streetcars would travel on wires across the road, and people would wait for the streetcar to stop, and then they would get on, and that's how they would move from place to place. Now, people travel under the ground in subways that go really, really fast. And then you climb upstairs, or you go up an escalator, and then you come out on the street level. Long ago, ships brought people to discover new lands. Now they have bigger ships like cruise lines, and you can get on there and it's like a hotel. You can have food, you can have all sorts of activities, and they travel from island to island or places that you're familiar with, and you can get off and explore and vacation. So the ships are a whole lot better now than they were a long time ago. Remember, we talked a little bit about the Pilgrims and how hard their travels were. Now the bigger ships for the cruise line, they're very fancy and they're luxurious. All right, I have a few more on our chart. Still, transportation in America has changed over time. Another example from long ago is trains were made to move people and goods. And in the transportation timeline, it tells when the railroad was developed from one side of the United States to the other. Now we have faster trains, and they're more streamlined, so they can go fast and they can get you there a lot quicker. Long ago, the first car was developed. That's a lot different than our car, isn't it? Almost has bike wheels on it. Now cars come in many shapes and many colors and all different styles. Long ago, the first airplane was made by the Wright brothers. Now let's compare it to airplanes that we have now. They're jets that fly very fast in the sky, and they can go up even higher. So transportation sure has changed, especially with those airplanes from the first airplane until now. So all these details on the last two charts show how transportation in America has changed over time. So now what we want to do is we are going to look at how to make a paragraph. We've talked about this in a few of our other lessons. My first question is, why is it important to write a conclusion sentence? So our conclusion sentence is going to be at the end of our paragraph, and that's what we'll look at today as we write our paragraph. So remember this design, we've seen it before. The top green one is our topic statement. And then we use one key detail. we use a second key detail, and then the conclusion. So we'll be really looking at this part today. And so on our chart, the long ago column was yellow because that's our first set of details. So if you were pulling out a set of details to support the topic sentence, then you would take it off of the blue chart. And then the second one is, or off the yellow chart, the second one is blue. So then you would take it off the now chart. So looking back, you're going to have the topic statement that we already said. Then you'll have one key detail from the yellow chart and one key detail that you compare from the blue part of the chart. And we've done this a few other times with school then and now and home then and now. And we've also looked at it when we did Cynthia Ryland's life. All right, so we already know the topic statement. And our topic statement was how transportation has changed in America. So our next thing is to find those two key details. We're going to pull them off the chart. One from the yellow side, which was long ago or in the past. One from the blue side, which is now. So we're going to have one and then the other. And the most important thing, do you remember? Those details need to be comparing. So if you're talking about an airplane, you need to talk about jets or airplanes now. If you're talking about an airplane from long ago, you don't want to be talking about ships or trains. You don't want to talk about any of those. They have to be comparing. All right, so we have our key details because we put it on our evidence organizer. So now, if we are going to make a sentence, the green part, remember, is the topic statement. So our topic statement, which is what the whole thing is about. Our topic statement I'm giving you is transportation in America has changed over time. So do you agree, thumbs up, that that's what our book was about, showing us how transportation in America has changed over time. Then we made our evidence organizer. So I want to take something off of the yellow side. So let's go and look at the yellow side, which would be long ago. Long ago, people traveled in wagons and had their goods. And now people use trucks to move themselves and their goods. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at that. The first side, which was long ago or in the past, long ago, wagons moved people and things. So do you agree? Is that a key detail? Yep. And it's talking about transportation. We're talking about wagons. So now we're going to take our other key detail out of the now part, which is the blue column. Now trucks move people and things across the country. So we have our main topic, and then we supported it with two key details. We talked about wagons and how they've now been exchanged for trucks. So what is missing when we're reading this? What else do we need? What we need to do is we need to finish this paragraph so it kind of restates the topic sentence. We want to restate it so we have an ending. It's just like when you are reading a sentence, when you come to a period, you know to stop before you start your new sentence. The same thing with when you're writing a paragraph. The reader needs to know that we've restated the topic sentence, and so now we are done with that topic. So let's look at our next slide, and I have just restated the topic sentence. The topic sentence was transportation in America has changed over time. And then my conclusion is this is how transportation in America has changed over time. So I just restated my topic statement. All right, so now what I want you to do, let's go back up and look at our charts. And for today's activity, I want you to find one key detail from the long ago column and one matching or coordinating key detail from the now column. In my example, I used wagons and trucks. So what I want you to do is choose, you can choose wagon and truck or streetcar or subway, ship or a bigger ship. You may also choose a train, an old-fashioned steam train, or a faster train, the first car that was ever made compared to cars now, the first airplane, or airplanes now. So choose just one thing from the now, long ago column and one thing from the now column. And then I want you to practice drawing a really good picture and then writing what it is. Long ago, there were trains. Now there are faster trains. So work on a sentence and practice drawing your picture. And then what we are going to do in a couple days, we are going to take these pictures and we are going to make a class book. So stay tuned for that. We'll have more information about that in the next couple days. But today, your job is to practice drawing one thing from long ago and the coordinating thing from the now column, and really looking at those key details. And then in our class book that will start next week, we will talk about transportation and communication, and you'll get to show a picture of how transportation or communication has changed in America. So your only job today is practice drawing a picture of two items. So we really are looking at the key details and the main topic. So our goal today was to tell what was happening in transportation then and now. Do you think we did it? I think so. We looked through the book. We talked about all the different changes from then or in the past to now. And we made our evidence organizer chart. So you may use your pictures in your book to compare two things, or you may go back in the slideshow and compare two things and draw your pictures. Just practice drawing today. And like I said, in a couple days, we will be putting these pictures together and making a class book. So stay tuned. You're not going to want to miss how we're going to do our book, but I won't give you the details today. And then we also reviewed on why a concluding sentence is important. And it's important because it wraps up our information. We have the main topic, we put the supporting key details, and then we wrapped up the whole paragraph by restating it. All right, lots of good learning today. Thanks for joining me.